Cool. So this is my I was almost gonna say review. This is my reaction to Top Dog Underdog. Um, and a lot of interesting things going on in this play. Um, it's interesting that Jeffrey Wright sort of originated the role and then reprises it when it comes to Broadway. It's really sort of interesting the sort of different way I could imagine it being played versus Don Cheadle, with Don Cheadle versus Mos Def. Yeah, Jeffrey Wright. That makes sense. Cool. Yeah. So I had a lot of notes about this. Mainly, right, like we get a really sort of unique set of things going on here with the way that this play is formatted and structured. You get things in this like the place here, the time now, and you get the elements of style section in the author's notes, which is kind of cool. I thought a lot of interesting things like with as they said, right, with the when there's supposed to be a sort of a spell going on, right? They have the place where there would be dialogue with no dialogue, right? It's Lincoln Booth with just space after that. Parentheses are for soft-spoken things. A lot of the language is written in the way that it's supposed to be spoken, with like the spelling of the, and like medicine is medicine, which is a direct way for the playwright to sort of have control over the actor's performance even. But we get also a lot of interesting stage direction things like we have in other plays, like on 38, when Lincoln is waking up after his drinking, he is horrific, bleary-eyed and hungover. And then you get Booth, who slams the door, trying to wake his brother, who is dead to the world. That's heavy, and it's not even in the play. Really interesting that you get that as a reader, or someone who puts this on, that you don't. And that could, I guess, go towards the performance, right? Really interesting sort of thing going on as well with like the father naming Lincoln and Booth as his sort of joke, right? And then sort of dooms them to sort of have this Cain and Abel relationship. I realize I just now I make a lot of biblical references in this class. I'm not religious. I don't know why it keeps coming up from me specifically, but yeah, I mean, right, it's and there's sort of like a Chekhov's gun sort of thing going on, right? I mean, like it's the minute that we see that Booth and Lincoln have their names like that, we kind of know what's going to happen by the end of the play. And then Lincoln says that he's around guns all the time, even though he's not around guns. Like, they're fake guns, but he's around guns all the time. Booth keeps saying that he has a gun. So it's sort of Chekhov's gun, where it's like, well, this is gonna have to happen at some point, right? Yeah, and I mean, that's really mainly what I have. This is a pretty straightforward play in terms of that. It's just that you get some really interesting moments. Like he's Lincoln is studying the cards. He studies them on 56. He studies them like an alcoholic would study a drink. Again, that's stage directions. It's not for the audience. On 59, it's all the makings of a very romantic dinner for two. The whole apartment, in fact, takes its cue from the table. It's sort of almost authorly, the way that these stage directions work, from Suzanne Laurie Parks. Checks the champagne on much melted ice, right? There's like a lyrical quality to the stage directions. This is really, I mean, like, this is so well written and, like, fun, and just the way that the stage directions and like, structure works is just, it's sort of one of the most, just format-wise, and, like, the way that the stage directions are written is most interesting. You get on 52, I know I'm jumping around all over the place. I'm looking at my highlights. It's a very tiny highlight. You know, you get the underline, right? You get the underline, and you get the 2 exclamation points. It's really fun. That's cool stuff. I don't know. That's pretty much all I got. I feel like I'm liking the plays more and more as we go on, which is really fun. Yeah. Okay.